Thanks for watching today because I have a super special video planned for you. Today I'm celebrating 1 million views on YouTube. I can't even believe I'm saying it. That number sounds so crazy. And I'm also about to hit 40,000 subscribers. I started blogging just under 4 years ago, and it took me a while to branch out and become a part of the YouTube community, and there was a very specific reason for that. And the reason was that I was terrified of that YouTube view count. So I just felt that I had this tiny, fragile blog audience, and I thought that if my audience members came over to YouTube and watched a video and saw that there was only, 5 other views, that they would just be so embarrassed for me that they would leave and never come back. So it took me almost 2 years to get over that fear. And about 2 years ago, I put up my first video on hand lettering. And of course, as so often happens in life, I could not predict the future, and things turned out completely differently than I had feared. The video was well received, and even better than that, I fell in love with the video medium, and I fell in love with connecting with the audience through the camera and connecting with this community. YouTube is a really great builder of community, I find, and I love that. And so today, here I am, 1 million views, almost 40,000 subscribers, and I'm making this video to thank you guys for being a supportive audience, but also for being a positive audience, for being a kind audience. And I also want to thank you for getting back into drawing, for getting creative again, and for sharing that with me and with everyone else online. That's so cool, and I thank you guys. And it's not just all talkity talk. I am going to thank you with a little gift from me to you. And my gift to you this holiday season to celebrate 1 million views are these coloring pages. So I've done these hand-drawn, I've created these hand-drawn coloring pages, and I'm going to be posting them on my blog this afternoon. So you can head over to shaydacampbell.ca after you watch the video and download these. Now these pages are all sort of woodland animal, wintry, Christmassy themed. That's the winter fox, and this is the holiday owl. So those are just my gift to you to say happy holidays and thank you for 1 million views. That's incredible. Please go over to shaydacampbell.ca after the video and download them, print them, share them with your family, give them to your kids, share your finished work on social media, and tag me if you like. So let's talk about what today's video is actually going to be about. I'm going to be using the coloring pages to show you guys a few tips and tricks to do with pencil crayons and pencil crayon shading. And that's sort of nice to know about if you are doing a lot of coloring book work this Christmas, or if you're just doing some beautiful pencil crayon artwork. So let's get started, okay? So in this video, I'm going to be using my big box of Prismacolor pencil crayons. There's 132 in this set. This was a Christmas gift from my father-in-law. It's so great to have a big set like this. I've even added to it over the years. Most paints, I would say that you can just get away with having the primary colors plus black and white, but having a lot of pencil crayons is really nice. They can be a little tricky to blend. You do want to blend them, but it's really nice to have a lot of colors. So what I've done here is I'm working on my piece, and I've got all the colors that I'm using sort of set out. So if you do have a big box of pencil crayons, it's nice to choose which colors you're going to work with. Like I've got all the greens that I'm using in the wreath and all the blues that I'm using in the bird, and they're just sitting there ready to go. And that really makes the process a little more enjoyable if you know, okay, I'm using these 5 greens, and then you just pick them up and you're not searching all the time through your giant box of pencil crayons. Alright, so let's set that guy aside. He's all done, and I'll show you some of the other ones here. What I did is I took the printables and I printed them on cardstock, and I did some on white. I did this one on a cream. You know, the other owl, I colored him in sort of cool tones of blue and green, but if I was going to do this cream colored one, which I will color eventually, I think I'd go for a warmer burgundies and greens. And then the deer, the little deer here, he's on gray. So that's what I'm going to be coloring now. I've got my palette of colors, my pencil crayon palette all picked out, and I'm using this beautiful gray cardstock. And the reason I want to do that is partly because of the white snow in this picture. So I'm able to do the snow, this beautiful white, and the contrast on the gray cardstock is just lovely. And I'll show you now a few tips and tricks. So what I'm doing here with my light green is I'm just coloring in half the leaf, and then I go back in with a darker green. So even though there's no line on those leaves, when you're coloring, don't be afraid to add detail that sort of goes beyond the original lines in the picture. And I'm just going to color in my little roses here. And I'll continue on with the wreath. And just like I said, it's really nice if you've got your color palette all picked out and sitting there, then it really makes the process of coloring in a coloring page even more relaxing than it already is. So do pick out your palette. So there I've added a little more depth to the picture by using those different greens. And now what I'm doing here is I want to get started on the sky. And I've got 3 colors that I want to blend together, and I'm testing them out on my white page, my scrap paper. It's a good idea to have a piece of scrap nearby to test your pencil crayon colors. And then I'm taking the medium blue and I'm just lightly shading with it. So I usually press quite hard with my pencil crayons, but I'm doing a very light shading. Then I'm going to take the darker blue, the darkest of the 3, and I'm going to go in and again lightly shade all over the area of the sky. And this is my trick that I always do, but I save the lightest color of pencil crayon for last, and then I go back in and I press much harder and I add that nice light layer on top, and I just find it gives a great amount of depth and a true color, and it really helps the pencil crayons to blend. So I'm going to show you with the deer as well. I'm starting with my darker shade of brown. And this is not the color that I want the deer to be. I want him to be lighter than this. And I'm just using 2, not 3. But now I'm going to go back in. I've added a light coating of brown. And then I'm going to add this really heavy coating of this much lighter brown. And then I'll go back in and add a little more detail with the darker one. But I just think adding a very light layer of the darker colors and then going heavy with that lighter color gives you this really nice saturated look, especially when you're using these beautiful colored pencil crayons. And I'll just finish the deer here with a little black hoofs and a little bit of white. And then I'm going to go back in and add a little detail on all the trees, and I'm almost finished with this cute little piece. And here you can just see me filling in the berries. And that's really all there is to it. I'm adding a little depth in the snow with some gray, and he's all done. Thank you so much for watching today, guys, and again, thank you for helping me to reach 1 million views on YouTube and nearly 40,000 subscribers. It's just incredible, and I thank you so much. Go on over to shaydacampbell.ca to view and download these free printable coloring pages.